I grew up in Hialeah. There was a fire station right around the corner from my house. And I remember always being outside on our bikes. Every time we would hear, sirens rolling and car accidents and you name it, we would whip around the corner and roll up on the scene. And I always thought those firefighters were, I thought they pretty much lived at a fire station, and that's what they did. I came home one day and told my mom, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be one of those guys.
How did I meet Troy? In high school. We both applied for the fire department, and as we were waiting to get hired, we got into the same class. We rode to fire college every single day in the car together.
I got hired September 4th of 1990, and they gave me an opportunity, and I didn't offer anything to deserve it. 33 years later, I'm one of them, and I'm about not to be anymore. So,
I met him a couple times before we got on the job. He was a mover and a shaker back then.
We used to swing into Station 5 from Station 3.
I first met Troy swinging out of Station 9, and I went to Station 5.
First time I met Troy was at Station 1, using a grinder up on a ladder inside the bay. I walked by, and I was wondering what that old man was doing up on top of that ladder. I had to try to get him off so he can let me do it, just in case. I know he's brittle.
And I remember I was doing details, and he was shaming another firefighter for not working. And he goes, hey, kid, oh boy, look at this kid, he's a worker. Hey, that's a worker.
That's when I first met him, was at the Firefighter Olympics. Troy was an incredible soccer player, very good. He had a cannon for a shot. He was fat for 10 months out of the year, and then he would diet. You can ask him, he would diet intensively for 2 months to get ready for the Olympics, would be ripped, have an incredible Olympics, and then go back to eating everything again.
The earliest memory or memories with my dad are being out in our backyard. We had a pool, teaching me how to swim, throwing me up in the air, making me laugh in the pool, have fun, getting ATVs. We used to ride around with little monster trucks, ATVs, playing baseball. He was my coach.
He was your baseball coach?
Yeah.
Now, does he like baseball?
He does not like baseball. He never touched a baseball bat when he was growing up. He didn't watch it, didn't care for it.
Alex, before I started coaching baseball, I never touched a baseball in my life. I didn't know the first thing about baseball. But after the first season, when he was a little dude, they needed a coach. They needed coaches.
He'd have these speeches after games. He talked to all of us as little kids like we were firefighters. He would tell kids, bring your purses instead of your bats if you're not going to swing it. If you're not going to swing the ball and try to win, what are we doing here?
Hey, lean into that pitch and take it in the face.
And if your dad has said, oh, it doesn't matter whether you win or lose, just as long as you have fun, well, I hate to say it, your dad's a loser.
We went out there to win and have fun and get better as people, even if we were little kids.
Yeah, he's probably a horrible coach. That's what I would expect of him, is that if somebody else isn't going to step up, then he's going to step up.
Troy is a motivator. He can talk to you for hours, and you'll not know what he's talking about. I know not too long ago, caught me outside Station 1. He must have went off on me for about 20 minutes, had me speak in front of the camera. Took me about 75 takes. Eddie Garcia. Eddie Garcia. My name's Eddie Garcia. My name's Eddie Garcia.
God damn it.
You ready? Okay. Ready? Here we go. Ready?
Go.
Take 76. And he motivated in his own way to play a part in this campaign.
For the second year in a row, for fucking
Do something nice for those folks, so that's why we're here. Something like that, Eddie. That's it.
I had just gotten promoted to captain. Troy started asking me questions about the labor contract. And he started quizzing me on the labor contract. And of course, I missed a bunch of questions. And he goes, you see, homeboy, until you know that labor contract, you're not a good captain. God knew that labor contract. I walked away and I go, what about fire behavior and tactics? And I go, no, f all that. You got to know the labor contract. And once you know that, then you know, you'll be a good captain.
He goes, this is the way you clean a toilet. You mop the floor, yeah. But then after you clean the toilet, you gotta get this blue stuff. You have this blue stuff sprayed in there. See how nice and pretty that looks? That's how you clean a bathroom. Never forgot that. You fold the toilet paper into a V. That cracked me up. To a V, I felt like a room service maid. And you scrub it and then you put a little blue stuff because it looks very nice. It looks very nice. That this guy, whatever he did, he was gonna do it to the top T.
To the detail, everything is done to perfection, very, very intense. You can really judge someone's integrity or who they really are by the way they treat people that can do nothing for them. I want to go back and tell you a story about Troy. At the time, Troy had a landscaping company, and one of my first memories of Troy, my first impression of him, was the way he treated his workers. He had these guys that did not speak English, and Troy cannot speak Spanish, and he treated those employees like gold. The reason I know this is because I wasn't on a work site, I didn't see them, but he would take his employees with him and he would bring them to practice with us, but they didn't have money for cleats. He would stop at a soccer store and had them go inside and tell, yeah, pick whatever cleats you want. And they would go, they were picking like $200 cleats, and you have these guys that were like, digging ditches, running around the soccer field like the best cleats. They would go to eat and he would, order whatever they wanted. He treated those people that worked for him the best. And I saw that through his entire career, where he always defended the person that was defenseless.
If you had to give me one word to describe Troy, what would it be?
Loyal.
First word to me, loyal.
He's a friend, he's loyal.
Fire department needs him, wherever and whenever he's coming.
If Troy's on your side, he'll always be on your side.
Because without loyalty, you really got nothing. Troy's a senior guy on this job, and I've seen him help people who've been on a year, 2 years, and back them, kids who have had issues on this job.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on the title of the group.
Chain gang.
So Troy came to me in logistics and says, hey, we got some people that things are, not right in their life, and, I think we need to get them back on their feet. He wanted to take these employees on and keep them close to his hip.
And he'll ride that kid, he'll ride him hard. Hey, are you going to your meetings? Are you doing this? He's loyal to that kid. What's going on this weekend? Some make it, some don't, but he gives it 100% on all of them. That's all you can ask.
He didn't mind being like the bully or the voice or the advocate for the person that felt they couldn't do it for themselves. So years later, when I would tell Troy, I was like, Troy, you could really judge somebody by the way they treat people that really can't do anything for them. The person I was talking about was him. He's the guy. He's the guy that is always going to defend the defenseless, and I think that's like one of the best things about Troy that you can say.
I could talk all day about what other things to do on this fire department than just go on runs. And again, if you only go on runs, it'll be a long career and probably not a real happy one. Get on a softball team, get involved with fishing tournaments, get on committees. If you're a good paramedic, be on the EMS committee. If you like fire trucks, apparatus committee, union, USAR, specialty teams. This department says no to nobody. If you're willing to step up and play part in something, it's willing to accept you. And I'm proof. I'm proof. If they let me do what I've done, Alex, they will let anybody. Trust me. Don't let this department pass you by.
His retirement is something that he's kind of bittersweet about. I know he's heartbroken to leave the fire department.
How do I feel about leaving, Alex? I'm bummed out, man. You know that. We talked about it for the last few months. I think my attributes to this job weren't necessarily on a fire scene and definitely weren't on a medical scene. I think my attributes, when I came to myself, or the way I could serve best to this department was by helping our guys. And our guys go through some tough times. It's a long career here, and you're going to have your ups and downs. And I think what I enjoyed the most was I liked playing part in some of these guys that were going through tough times. It was real self-rewarding to see them bounce back and continue serving in a positive light. So
I'm gonna miss you. Very few people like you still left on this job. Enjoy, my friend. Well deserved.
I wouldn't have the same work ethic as I do now. I wouldn't have the same devotion towards my friends and family if my dad wasn't who he was.
Thank you for the opportunity you've given me. And I hope he knows, I know he does, that he has a friend now till forever.
Miss you, homeboy. Definitely gonna miss coming into work and not seeing you there and to ask me for 100 things. But I love you, and I wish you luck.
I'm gonna look right at him. So I'm gonna say, Troy, thank you for everything that you've helped me through. Thank you for over the years, just guiding me through certain things, answering any questions I have, and I just think you're a great person, man, and I've always appreciated you. Safe travels, my friend. Finger in the brown.
Just thank you for the long friendship. Thank you for the loyalty. It's been a fun ride. He always says, Al, you're my man, and I've never told him you're my man, but I have told him many a times I love you. And then when we were younger, he wouldn't say I love you back, and I would say, Troy, why does it hurt you to say I love you to me? And now I can't pass by him without him giving me a big old hug and slapping a kiss on my cheek.
He's had a great career, and your life is a big book. Many chapters of Troy's book has been the fire department. Whether it's as a young firefighter getting hired, or at Station 5 on the dive team, that was a great time, or then all the work he's done in the logistics or union work. These are all chapters in this book.
That this city and this fire department means everything to me, second to my family only, and this job has made my mother and my family and my parents proud of me. Without me being anybody special, I think any parent would be proud to have a City of Miami Fire Department son. I've met some of my heroes, and I've met a lot of my good friends, best friends. You're gonna lose friends and co-workers yourself that you've been working with for a long time. I have, and it wasn't fun. It's still not fun. It's raised my kids, it's introduced me to my wife, and it gave me a stepdaughter and a mother-in-law and a sister-in-law and some nieces that I love. It's gonna raise my granddaughter or help raise my granddaughter. This job has been a blessing for me, and I could never pay back the city and this fire department for what it's done for me.
The best part of Troy Sutton retiring is that I get to keep him forever. I love you, Troy.
Give me how do you do a Troy impression?
All right, let me explain this to you. So the Troy impression is really not that hard because you're not supposed to speak when you do it. You got to catch him when he sees you from far away. So really, when Troy sees you from far away, he's got and because he wants to say something, right? But that's the moment I go, homeboy, hey, you got to get this little homeboy, hey, kid. And you just, if you stay in that right there, that's all you got to do. And there's poses and there's the fingers and you could do a certain stance and stuff like that. But you really got to focus in is this area right here. You just like, man. Oh boy. While I'm making fun of him in front of his face, he'll go, I don't do that. He's doing it right now. That's the best part.